You've heard this one, right? The chicken or the egg. It's one of those debates we all know, but honestly, behind this fun little question, there's a much deeper one. When two people are absolutely sure they're right, how do we find out what the real answer is? In the middle of an argument like that, you might hear someone say something like this: "The data is irrefutable." Whoa. That is the language of certainty, isn't it? It means the evidence is so strong you just can't argue with it. But what does it actually take to get to that point? Okay, so let's really get into this, because it's not just about chickens and eggs. It's about how we figure out any complex problem, From curing a disease to understanding our own history. And the secret? Well, it all comes down to a really powerful process, a true journey of discovery.
To even begin our journey, we first need to get on the same page with the language. The words we use when we're searching for the truth, they're incredibly important. They're actually the foundation for the entire investigation.
So that word the professor used, irrefutable, that's the ultimate goal. It means your evidence is just so solid, so undeniable, that it can't be disputed. It's basically the gold standard for any finding.
Now, the flip side of that is when something is, well, flawed. This means there's a mistake somewhere, a weakness in the process. And a flawed approach, no matter how good your intentions are, can easily lead you straight to the wrong answer. So, how do you avoid those flaws? Well, you've got to be systematic. This means you don't just look for answers randomly. You follow a fixed plan, an organized, methodical system. It's all about being deliberate and structured in your approach. And here's where it all comes together. When you take that systematic process and you find that irrefutable data, bam, you get what's called conclusive evidence. This is the point where the information is so strong that it just ends the debate. It proves something is true, and it gets rid of any reasonable doubt. All right, now that we have the language down, we can finally give this journey a name. This quest for answers, this systematic process of discovery, it has a name I'm sure you all know: research. And at its core, that's all research is. It's simply the process of finding new information so we can answer our questions and solve our problems. It's really humanity's most basic tool for making progress. And you might be asking, okay, but why does this matter to me? Well, because research is literally everywhere. It's how doctors find new treatments, how businesses figure out what their customers actually want, and how scientists unlock the secrets of the universe. It's how we learn and grow. So, if research is a journey, then every good explorer, well, they need a map, right? The research process is exactly that. It's a clear step-by-step guide to follow so we don't end up getting lost along the way. And that map usually follows 6 key steps. First, you choose a topic and you ask a very specific question about it. Then, you go out and gather your information. After that comes the really critical part. You analyze all that data to look for patterns. From that analysis, you draw your conclusions. And finally, you share what you found. This systematic path is what makes the whole journey reliable. Now, what's so cool about this map is that you can use it to explore all kinds of different worlds. See, research isn't just one thing. It's a powerful tool that you can apply to pretty much every field of human knowledge you can think of. I mean, just look at this. From the hard data of science and medicine to the human stories you find in history and education, research is the common thread that ties them all together. Even in business, figuring out what customers want, that's a form of research. For example, a scientist might run experiments in a lab. A historian, they might be analyzing ancient letters and artifacts. A business might use surveys and interviews. The methods are different for sure, but the core goal is always the same: to find that conclusive evidence. Okay, this might all be sounding a little academic, but here's the most important part of all of this. This process, this journey, it isn't just for professors in a lab. You, yes you, are a researcher every single day. Just think about it. Developing a new vaccine is a massive, incredibly complex research project. But you know what? So is reading dozens of online reviews to figure out which new phone you should buy. You're gathering information, you're analyzing it, and you're drawing a conclusion. That's research. We do this constantly. When you compare job offers, look for a great school for your kids, or even just try to decide what movie is worth watching on a Friday night, you are conducting your own personal research project. Now, let's be real for a second. This whole journey, it's not always a walk in the park.
We all face challenges, like trying to find information you can actually trust, not to mention the time and the money involved. And for formal research, there are some really important ethical lines you have to consider. This is exactly why being systematic is so important. It gives you a framework to help you handle these hurdles.
And that really brings us to the most crucial takeaway here. Despite any challenges, research is a fundamental life skill. It is not some mysterious process that's only for geniuses and lab coats. It's a tool for curiosity. It's a method for making better decisions in your own life. So, when it comes right down to it, whether you're solving an ancient riddle or just making a big life decision, the process is exactly the same. Every journey of discovery, big or small, always begins with a single question. So, what's yours?